الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Alhamdulillah, we're still in our companionship with the Quran in this holy month of Ramadan, the month of Quran. Today we'll be talking about the most beautiful qissa according to Allah wa ta'ala in the entire Quran. Of course, we will be summarizing it. That is the qissa of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص, said Allah wa ta'ala. Sayyidina Yusuf, his qissa is extraordinary, and there is nothing like it in the Quran, the way it is narrated itself, because Allah wa ta'ala in many surahs he narrates some of the story and mentions it again in another surah with some increase or some differences that has to do with eloquency and the fact that Quran is everlasting miracle. But in Surah Yusuf, Allah wa ta'ala tells us the entire surah, the entire qissa in one surah, and it doesn't make it less beautiful. Of course, it makes it even more beautiful because Allah calls it أحسن القصص. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, when we look at his story, it relieves us. Whenever you have a problem, whenever you are in difficulty, whenever things do not work well for you, I advise you to read Surah Yusuf. That's why the scholars say that no one reads Surah Yusuf except that they will find tranquility and peace of mind because of the stages of the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. Sayyidina Yusuf, who was a prophet, son of a prophet, son of a prophet, son of a prophet. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, when he was asked, who is Akramun Nas? He said, whether you mean Atqahum, meaning when it comes to taqwa, they said, no, that's not what we mean. He said, Yusuf alayhi salam, because he is son of a Nabi, he is a Nabi, son of a Nabi, son of a Nabi, son of the friend of Allah wa ta'ala, that is Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yusuf is one of the 12 kids of Sayyidina Yaqub, and he was the best of them. Even according to the scholars, Yusuf has higher rank than his own father, and you will see that in the way he deals with his brothers when he forgives them with everything they did. The short story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, his father had 12 kids. He was the 11th, maybe, because for sure he was older than his only younger brother from his own mother, Benjamin. But very early in his age, he had a dream that 11 stars were prostrating before him, and the sun and the moon. And he went to his father to tell him about this dream. And the father told him not to tell the dream, not to relate the dream to his brothers, because Shaitan can use that. Of course, he didn't. But Shaitan maybe heard the conversation, and he went to his brothers to tell them, look, Yusuf is more loved to his father than you. So you have to eliminate him for you to gain the love that he has from your father. Sometimes when I have envy, I always think that as long as this brother is here, I cannot get what I need to get. Because he has it, I cannot have it. He has to lose it for me to have it. That's why the person who has envy, in reality, he does not have Iman. He does not have Iman in Allah. Because if he believed in Allah, he would know that Allah wa ta'ala can give both Sugi and me. So that's why Allah wa ta'ala does not say in the Quran that the Muslims are brothers. Sometimes we do translate the ayah in a very wrong way. The ayah doesn't say that the Muslims are not brothers and sisters. The ayah says the believers. Innamal mu'minun, not innamal muslimun. The believers, because I can be a Muslim, but my Iman can be very weak, or maybe zero Iman, because if I am just a Muslim by actions, and my heart is not with Allah wa ta'ala, then I will contain so many bad things in my heart, especially against others. That's why Allah wa ta'ala is teaching us here some very important lessons. I just want to relate the story very short and take some lessons from it. and then go back, inshallah, to Tarawih. So you look very tired, but you're going to have to wait. So Shaitan went to his brothers and spoke to them, فوسوس as Shaitan does it. من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Then they said, ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا. Yusuf and his younger brother Benjamin are more beloved to our father than ourselves. And that's not fair. To them, that's not fair. Yusuf, Yaqub, their father, he did not necessarily choose to love Yusuf over them. But he knew something in Yusuf that was not in them. That's why he was taking very good care of Yusuf and did never want Yusuf to go away or far from him. So we're going to be talking about that, how we treat our kids, because sometimes you show love to someone more than the others, and you think it doesn't hurt, but it hurts sometimes. Even when you talk about them, you want to be very, very careful. So they made a plot. They said they were going to kill him. But to make the long story short, they decided to not kill him, but to throw him in the well. La taqtulu Yusuf. That's what they finally said. Do not kill him. Just try to make him go far away. If you throw him in that well, then the travelers will of course take him and sell him as slave. Then when our father has no view, has no side of him, then he will give us the love that he's giving Yusuf alayhi salam now. So they took him, the travelers took him and they sold him in the market, slave markets in Egypt. That time the Aziz of Misr didn't have child with his wife. He bought Yusuf, and Yusuf was so beautiful. He went to his wife, he said, because we don't have a child, don't treat him as a slave. Treat him as our own child. As a asa yanfa'ana aw nattakhidhahu waladan. But when Yusuf grew up, the wife fell in love. She loved Yusuf, and she couldn't control it. She waited until the Aziz traveled to want to do something wrong with Sayyidina Yusuf. But Yusuf, very early, very young, he never wanted to do anything bad. He said, إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. Never will I do that. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَن رَأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّي. Anyway, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala saved him from the plot or from what the lady wanted. But the lady wouldn't stop, because she was a woman of dignity, of honor, of leadership. She doesn't want people to blame on her that she wanted Yusuf and Yusuf rejected. She invited all the women of the city. They saw Yusuf. Oh, you are right. This is not a human being. In hada illa bashar. In hada ma hada basharan. In hada illa malakut karim. This is not a human being. He's just an angel. And they all